Hey everyone, my name is Melissa, and here is my project. This is the Sunrise Resort. I decided to locate my resort in Balaclava, Mauritius. Mauritius is an island in East Africa, and it's in the Indian Ocean. I found this during my research, and I thought it was a really beautiful place to set this tropical resort in. Our hotel map. So off the lobby, we have the rooms to the right, our catering offices and restaurant to the left, and then the pool also beyond those to the left. In our hotel rooms, to start off, we have Plan A. Plan A is the smallest of the rooms. We enter in through here, and there's access to the ensuite bathroom. And then I put in a queen bed here with nightstands on either side. We have a dresser, mini fridge, and a desk, as well as seating for two up against the windows. In our plan B, we have more space. So when you enter through these doors, there is a little kitchenette here, seating for five, as well as a couch with a coffee table and two side tables. Here we have a desk and a dresser with a TV for the bed to see. The bed's in this little nook here. We have nightstands on either side, and then access to the closet, toilet, and the shower and tub. Here we have sliding doors that lead out to the pool deck. For our final room, we have Plan C. This is the largest of the rooms. Entering here, I have a love seat, a sofa, a coffee table, two side tables, and the TV. Through here, we have our toilet, our shower, here's the tub, here is the shower, and then the vanity. In here, we have a space for closet and a tiny kitchenette. This leads through to the bedroom that's separate from the living area. We have a chair here, a dresser, a desk, a much larger bed with side tables on either side. In our living area, we have a table for six, as well as a sideboard, and I have a plant over here that we'll see in a minute. But these are my floor plans. So starting off with our renderings, Plan A, I have a view, if we look at plan, I have a view from the hallway looking at the whole room. We could see the TV, the little mini fridge, our desk right here. There is a view out the window, seating for two, and a bed with two nightstands. In Plan B, we have the deluxe guest room. Our view here is of the bed. I really like this little cove that I placed the bed in, so I just did a quick view of this where we could see the dresser and the TV, and then the bed with the nook and two sconces, as well as two nightstands. In Plan C, I chose to do a view of the living area. We can see a little bit of the love seat and the sofa here. And on the side, you get a little peek of the TV armoire area, as well as where the bedroom would go into. We get some light from the bedroom doors being open. And then we have our floor to ceiling windows looking out to the view, our seating for six, and a sideboard along the these windows. Here is the hotel lobby. My main feature in the lobby were water features. So I have our main water feature in the center with a smaller one to the right, and then two even smaller ones, one in a seating area and one by the gift shop. So in this plan, we have windows at the front so that you could see some of the water feature and it would like draw people in if they were walking by. And you could see as well into here. So when you walk in, we immediately have on the left the bell desk, seating for people waiting, and then our beautiful view of the water feature. This is a tree with rain coming down in the blue areas around it. And then there's some more plants on the base and another layer of rain coming down. To the right over here, we have the other water feature that also has seating around it, as well as some general seating. I added a lot of greenery to the lobby to bring some of the outside atmosphere inside. So here we have restrooms. I did the entrance a little bit more hidden so that you have to walk around to get to them, and there's seating outside either one. We have the registration here along with the concierge desk here. Our general offices would be in this top left area, and it would lead to the catering offices. So this door goes to a hallway with the catering offices. This door here would lead to the restaurant and the pools. On this side, the doors would lead to the tower where all the hotel rooms would be located. And in this top right corner, we have the gift shop, which I'll go into further in a moment. Well, first here is the rendering of our main feature. So I used glass in my rendering just because rain was not an easy thing to render. But you could see that there's plants at the base. There's a stone wall around it, and then the glass is representing the rain that would come down, and there would be a skylight above it to bring in the natural light. So here's a close-up of the gift shop floor plan. We have windows at the entrance so people can see what's inside and it could, convince them to come in. So I put the children's section here so the children can see the toys from this main entrance. These doors are also glass, so they would be able to see it from this angle as well. We have the children's section. There's clothes here, newspapers and magazines, circle racks with clothes in the adult clothes section. Here's a dressing room. And then we have on the side, when you walk in, you see snacks immediately, books, and then our cash wrap counter that leads into the storage room that has an exit to the outside, as well as just like general shopping and gifts on this side. So here is our rendering. And in this view, you can see where the kids section is, where the toys are visible. And we do also get a little peek of the greenery that I put right up against that window. Here is the restaurant floor plan. These doors you would enter through from the lobby, and this is the patio. But you would enter through here, and there is host desk here, and seating for 6. We have a hidden wine closet, and there is casual dining around the bar. There's bar seating for 12. This here is glass, so when you're sitting at the bar, you can see out and catch some of like the view of the palm trees. The main dining room holds a total of 100 for seating, and I did a combination of booths here, seating for 4, seating for 2 along these wall booths, and then I chose to do a little counter here since we had another set of windows. So you can look out the view this way. There's service on either side here. And then I have the restrooms a bit hidden so that you don't see them when you're walking in. You could just go behind a wall. And then we have the kitchen here with the two doors for access. Our rendering, I chose to do a rendering of this view from the bar. So here's let's zoom in a little bit, we can see it, but I have glass shelves that have like a metal on the side. So there's lots of glass here, and you can look out beyond the glass and see a bit of the view. Next, we have the catering office. So I approached this by starting with the two chefs' office. Since they needed to be identical, I started there. So each executive chef has four windows in their office. One here, there's one here, and then their conference room is in between, and this has a few more windows, so it's a little bit nicer of experience when they hold meetings in here. Accounting is right up here, and this is our employee entrance. But otherwise, we have chefs, there's executive assistants in front of either of their doors. The event planners have identical offices with three windows. So each has their office and their executive assistant in front of their office. We have our library that's a bit of the feature. There's seating for three, and then another room that's full of floor to ceiling windows that's, stands out. And because the guest entrance is here through reception, when you come through, you would be able to see into the library when even if you weren't coming to see specifically the library. So let's go here. So we have a file room here, easy access for everyone who is working in the open office space. Conference room with seating for 8, and a staff kitchen. And then if we look at reception, so this hallway would be where the guests would come in. They would come in this entrance. There's seating for 6. The receptionist would be here, and she would have access to the copy and mail room. And then there'd be an additional door so that everybody in the office's side would also have access to the copy and mail room. And let's see, we'll go next to our renderings. My first rendering is, do a little close up over here. This is the view of one of the executive chef assistants area. So in this view, you can see we have storage behind her desk. The desk is in a U shape so that there is a lot of counter space as well as a transaction area. And then there's seating for 2 people. Here is the office for the executive chef that this woman would be working with. And here is the door. You could see just a tiny bit of the door that goes to the conference room. And on this side, you can see a tiny bit of where the accountant's office is. This next view is of the conference room. So in the conference room, we needed to have a table for 4, along with a little mini fridge for beverages. So I have a little coffee station set up here. And then it's pretty minimal otherwise because you'll have this great view from the floor to ceiling windows. Our final feature at the resort is the pool. So I'm someone who doesn't always love to be in the sand, even though I love the ocean. So one of the things I thought would be fun for the resort is to have this gorgeous infinity pool that has a view of the ocean. So guests can still enjoy being in the water, but not necessarily the sand. I'll do a little close-up of this. So here we have the infinity pool is in a U, and it's all connected around. And then on each corner, there are 4 hot tubs that are sunken in. And then this would be the walkway from the hotel. On either side, there's 2 sunken seating areas that have fire pits. And then the pathway you would walk would be here. Um, there's just some casual seating on either side. The cabanas face the infinity pool. And then on the top side, let's get a little closer view. On the top side, you can see there's lounge chairs with umbrellas, and then these beautiful floating, um, like floating deck tops with pool cushions so that you are like right on top of the water. Let's get a close up. Here are the hot tubs. So how I had these planned is that there's about like 10 inches of floating water or water on top, and then like there's sunken water. So you would walk onto these steps, and then there's space for you to walk around here, and then you would sit inside the hot tub. And then our little seating areas, we have quite a few seats. So, you can have a bigger group sitting here, and there's space for drinks, the fire table, and just lounging. So here's another close-up view. We can see a little bit of the hot tub here, the stepping area here. And then there's still like a little bit of water around the sunken seating as well, just to kind of tie all of this in. You could see in this view the more casual seating for people who are maybe at the pool to eat. Then here's another hot tub view with our little stepping stones to get over there. My next feature, oh, here we go. So this is the infinity pool and the lounges. I really loved these floating lounges. There was a resort that I saw who had these. So it's a little bit of an illusion that the deck is floating on top of this area, but this is another area where it would be about 10 inches of water before it drops off into the infinity pool part. But so it would appear floating from afar. So we can even see it like this. Like this looks really beautiful. Their long infinity pool, and then we have some cabanas on the side. But yeah, you can see the little stepping area that we get to here. You can jump into the infinity pool, and then you can see a little bit of our umbrella lounge chairs as well. That's the infinity pool. Finally, we have the cabanas and hammocks. So I saw these beautiful hammocks in some of my research. So I decided to have each of the cabanas alternate with either the double hammocks or the two cushions that are like directly on the ground. And this also would be a watery area, like where it'd be like 10 inches of shallow water. So you could still feel close to the water, but not necessarily be in the water. So there are the cabanas, and here's another quick view. You could see here the cushions. Here we just have someone sitting in the hammock for reference, and I guess jumping in the pool. Here's another closer up view of the seating area. I made sure to have towels and little areas for beverages so that it would be really comfortable for the guests. And this is just one final look of the main tree that's in the center of the pool. And I have a little bit of seating around it. Now you could see some lanterns next to the palm trees and some of the close-up views of the lounge chairs and seating. And that is all. Thank you so much.